Hi guys. So this is day 6 of my journey on finding myself. So today, um, yeah, today was a rather good day. Um, it was stressful in the beginning because working with a lot of people is just sometimes exhausting, especially in the case of me being a physiotherapist. I have all eyes on me in the therapy, and I'm guiding what's happening. So I can't just um, crawl into myself and just be within and just do my job. I need to interact with people and be upfront and lead, right? So that's pretty difficult sometimes, especially if you have um, the urge to be silent. But I managed to go out of every session and internalize this is not mine. It's what I've heard, and I do have many people who have tragic lives and tragic things happening to them, and they are sharing those things with people that help them taking care of themselves. And so it's sometimes pretty difficult to create some healthy distance, but also be there for the patient. And so I gave my best, but I had the perception of myself as a tool and not as someone reliable for their well-being. And I just created an emotional gap between me and them. I heard what they said and I acknowledged it, and then I tried to be productive. Yeah, probably like many people would just do naturally, but usually I would go deeper and try also to nurture the emotional side and try to lift them up, but on a very deep level. And so I didn't do that. I just tried to help them with their problem in the present, and went out of the session and told myself, that's not mine. That's not my stuff. It's not my stuff. I did my job, and here I do a hard cut. And that worked well in the beginning, but I have pretty long days, up to 10, 11 hours sometimes. And after like 7 hours, I got exhausted, and I had very emotionally challenging patients who have very, very tragic lives. And they know me they knew me when I would go very deep into the conversation with them, even on a very deep psychological level, where I would share many of my private details, which is not healthy, and I do not recommend that in any job, not even as a psychologist. You need to create distance on a certain level, because you create a relationship that's not helping the patient nor yourself. And I know that, and that's something I'm working on, and I think I did it better than last time. So I shared with those very intense patients that I found something, and this something is the silence, and I want to act on the silence. I'll do my, on the patients that are not very capable of having a very active therapy. I have a blind patient with many transplants and very heavy issues, and he always asks me to how do you say that in English, massage his back or his legs or any region that's under stress. And so we usually talk a lot, and I've communicated that I will be silent within the next therapies, because that's very healthy for me, and they took it good. Yeah, and it was very sort of awkward in the beginning, but that's fine. Needs to be. Yeah. Then I got home. My lovely girlfriend cooked me a meal. It was very tasty. And then we just went for a walk, and she also, I spoke with her about the silence thing, and she's just so helpful, and she doesn't stress me out in any way. And that gave me so much room that I actually had a very healthy urge to communicate with her, and it didn't mess my process. So we had a very relaxing, not too deep conversation, but we went for a walk, and we just had a very harmonic time together. It was not very verbal, but it was just, it was very good. And sometimes not communicating too much is way better than communicating too much. And I'm coming from a side where I had to communicate on a very high level, because in my family, and also my father is very talkative, and so am I, and we rather over talked our problems instead of just acting what would prevent getting into those thought loops. And so anyway, I still didn't consume any sort of media besides the things that keep or that I'm working on in terms of building my business. And that was just half an hour maybe. And every day a little step. I'm still taking a walk every morning. I get up, and if I come back from work, I also take a walk today with my girlfriend, and I think she'll join me on that. Maybe every day, and I'll do it just in between also. And that's great. The silence is great. That if you have space to create it or make room for it. If you have children, it might be difficult, but there's always a chance to have a 5-minute break just for you and yourself. And that's what I would recommend you or myself again to enjoy and embrace. So I actually don't have a lot to say today. I worked a lot, and the day is almost over. Let's see what the rest of the week brings, and I'm very excited for the weekend. And that's it. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.